Welcome to Maker's Journey Workshop. I'm Benjamin Davies, and today we're making mistakes. Made so many mistakes on this one. Mistakes are always a good thing to show, but these were not all intentional. So some were, and I'll show you the ones that were. Try to show you some workarounds. Sometimes you can't even do the workaround, you just have to start over. But the important thing to stick with on this project is just keep going. Everything I know, everything that I've learned, the majority of it has come from making mistakes and the doing and the process. Let's get after it. I know, starting stock size. 3/8 square, hot rolled, 30 inches long. Let's go. So for this next part, as you can see, we just cut it, saved ourselves a lot of time, cut it on the bandsaw. I love using a bandsaw. The good thing about power tools is, once you buy them and you own them, use them however you want. They're yours. Be safe, don't be stupid, be careful, because you can still hurt yourself using them the right way. But find a way that works for you, and don't be afraid to chuck it up in a vise if you don't have one of those stands that are made to hold it. I've done this for years. It's a really handy workaround. Make sure whenever you separate this that you're focusing on the center and kind of pushing some meat out to the left and to the right. If not, you'll end up with what we call a cold shut right here, and it'll create a crease, which creates a crack, which further spreads, and you won't realize it until you get ready to mount it and you start pounding these rivets on, and that piece just shears off right there. Take your time, go slow, move the material, okay? That's all we're doing, and then you can flatten out. This shovel head, in case you were curious, it's 16 gauge material. right, so you don't need a press brake. You don't need a pan, sheet brake, metal brake, whatever to make one of these guys. You don't even need a big vise. Do be mindful and think about your layout as far as what steps you need to take first, because there are some bends, if you make them first, you might not be able to go back and make the other bends. So kind of play around and do kind of a walkthrough of what your bends are going to be like, and to make sure that it fits in the vise each time if you're working with a small vise, okay? Also, you may not have accurate hammer blows. We use a straight peen right here. And that works pretty good, lets you glance off of the vise to get in real close. Maybe you're not even that accurate, and that's okay too. Starting out, you're not usually. If the workaround is, I've got these spare 3/4 inch by 10 inch bars back here that I use for production work. Use it like a chisel. It's already flat. I've already chamfered all the sides by deburring, and you can go slow right here. It's important to walk down the edge. Don't just try to lay one side down and then move on to the next step. You'll end up with a bunch of ripples. Try it. Cool. And once you get it flat, you can go back through and just tap it, make it real smooth. But what you might have done, since it's thin 16 gauge of material, in case you might have got a little bit of, actually might have done some forging. Even though it's cold, it might have pushed the metal out. And so we'll just clean that up on the grinder. So it's right now, but in the video, I mounted the shovel backwards. And there's a good way to fix this. Don't give up on your project just yet. Don't get disparaged. Just watch this. I'm gonna show you a little trick how I know how to fix it, okay? Come on. Cool, so we got it fixed. Nice little twist, and it actually works out well. I like my twist right here up towards the handle. It's just what I like. And I like it just smooth, transitions in the middle. Some people like it in the middle. That looks good too. You put your twist where you want your twist, and that's okay. Cool, so I showed you that workaround just to realize that the shaft of my shovel handle was off center to the shaft of my shovel head. All right, I'll show you how to unattach it, because whenever I marked my holes, I'd marked them the other way around. So they were probably centered, maybe because this side's longer than the other. It's so amazing to me that one or two small details totally just tanks a whole piece. So it's important, the devil's in the details, obviously, because it comes out when you mess them up. That's when the devil comes out. But we're not going to give up on it just yet. So we're going to take these rivets off, just cut them off real quick, center punch them, drill them out. Okay, so that didn't work. And this is the point where we just entirely walk away from the entire thing and quit and start over, or we push on and push forward. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new shovel head. Something I didn't mention in the beginning that I should have, if you plan on making more than one of these, make a template. I love cereal boxes for this. It's a little thicker cardboard, not the corrugated stuff, and it works great. And you can draw your template out, and then you can trace it and figure out where all your bins are and go on from there. But luckily we still have our shovel head. The holes are a little boogered, but we can still use it as a template to make another one. So here's what we're gonna do. We're making mistakes. So we repeated that process, and now make sure we take our time lining it up. And if you'll notice on the back, that's right, we do a center line, and that way we can line that shaft up. All right, so you've heard me talk about this in other videos. These are a small 3/16 inch rivet. I'll put a link down below. I'm not an affiliate, I'm not sponsored. I get them from Kane's Blacksmith Depot. Also, I've ordered them off Amazon before. A little recommendation starting out, since you don't know what your projects are gonna be, order them a little long. I think these are right at 1 inch long, and then you can grind them down or cut them off shorter to fit your need. And then you've got extra length in there if you're wanting to squeeze some extra material in there. So it's kind of handy at first. But once you really get dialed in and tuned in, know what you need, make sure you order an exact length. So what I usually work with now is about 3/16 by 1/2 inch. I use them for little things like shovel heads still, and we use them on like little mason jar candle holders. I love setting these rivets cold. I didn't know you could do it for years, and I can't tell you how much fuel I wasted doing that. It works, it gets really tight. Take your time. You don't have to smash it down in 1 or 2 hammer blows. And you can actually flip over and use the ball peen and really dome that up and actually make it look pretty nice. I like these big flat heads. I don't know why, just what I like. So I think this is gonna be a great video, not because it's the coolest thing I've ever made, but because I've made so many mistakes unintentionally. And I'm gonna show you another workaround because, you know, we've shown you like 10 already, several. So let's get this thing figured out. Cool. Microphone's going over here. Ha-ha! Success! Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha! Let's get better situated. Do not fall out of there, I'll cry. Okay, no falling. Yes! We made it! Finally. Sorry. That was really frustrating, and like, instead of getting mad halfway through, I just started giggling. It was a very difficult video for us to make, but I feel like by not quitting and actually showing you what it really looks like sometimes, even somebody who's been doing this 15 years, that we still make mistakes. It's okay. What's not okay is to stop. That's where your growth stops. So get out there, make mistakes, sit there and pause it and take 5 minutes. What's a workaround? And then take action. If that workaround works, great. If not, you've learned something because you realize, okay, that's something I'll never think about again. So all these little tips and tricks right here, kind of like where you saw me drilling out that hole and wallering it a second ago, those are things I've learned along the way to salvage because maybe I didn't have enough materials to finish the job I was on and I had to figure it out. Limitation of resources really improves your abilities as a blacksmith, as a craftsman, in anything you do. You give somebody a limited amount of resources and say, I need this outcome and this is your only choice, then that's your only choice. Move forward, figure it out, and get it done, all right? Just want to say thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Get out there, make your own mistakes. Don't get discouraged. Find your workarounds. That's where most of my tips and tricks and techniques have come from. They're just workarounds because that's how you have to figure it out sometimes. I hope you appreciated the fact that I gave you a video of mistakes and how I continued and plowed through them and the workarounds. It wasn't frustrating, but it was so cool to watch a YouTube video whenever I first started out and seeing these guys just execute flawless, you know, pieces of work. And then I'd go try it and I'd have all these mistakes, but I didn't know the workarounds. So I hope this is helpful for you today because some of the workarounds have been some of my main tools in my belt that I use every day. So get out there, try it. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. Thank you so much for being here. Smash that subscribe button. See y'all. I think this is going to be my favorite video because I've just made so many mistakes unintentionally, but I know the workaround out of them. So we just put our shovel head, I didn't say that, 16 gauge. We're working with 16 gauge today. This shovel head, in case you were curious, it's 16 gauge material. Smash that subscribe button. See y'all.